Welcome to this quick explanation of why you should not try to remember information. This was a pretty profound discovery I just made a couple of minutes ago. I already knew about this, but for some reason I did not use this. Happens to all of us, right? You have to understand that your brain cannot store information. Fundamentally, this is impossible. If it could, then probably we would have these weird, huge brains, and people with like lower information storage would probably have like smaller brains, stuff like this. That's not the case. Your brain is actually a radio station. Let me explain. Might sound kind of weird. Because it transmits and perceives information at a certain frequency. If you want to know a little bit more about this, you can even Google, for example, Nikola Tesla, and he talked about this as the brain being like a receiver station. My brain is only a receiver. In the universe, there is a core which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration. Because at the core, everything is energy. There's also literally like a scientific study done on this. Scientific evidence. The scientific proof that everything is energy. I highly recommend that you give this a read about quantum physics. Which means that since everything is energy, the information is also energy. Which means, because energy has a frequency, that you are able to tap into the frequency of information. So instead of trying to remember stuff, this is so profound. You don't need the information to remember it, you need to tap into the frequency to access it. Okay, so really quick example, and by the way, if it doesn't make sense, just compare it to a radio station. A radio station is always operating at a certain frequency. You can tune it to a certain frequency, so for example 4 Hertz. And if you attune it to 4 Hertz, you will only receive information which is 4 Hertz. So you won't receive information which is 20 Hertz, for example. And this is so insane because once you realize this and you have a problem or you constantly try to remember information, and the reason I'm making this is actually because I used to struggle with this. I store like 500 of my lessons inside of like Excel sheet files, and I looked over them every week, every day almost. And the problem with this is that it's actually very energy draining. So trying to remember all of this information, which first of all is impossible as I just explained, also takes up a lot of energy. So instead of trying to like remember everything, remember your way to 10 grand a month or do your way to 10 grand a month, because too much reasoning. You have to understand, everything is energy. That's the only kind of reasoning you basically need. Then you tap into the frequency of your problem solved or your goal achieved. And this will actually change your life. I can't even explain this. You tap into the frequency of the problem already solved or your goal already achieved. What happens then is the right information will come to you. Not because of some magical reason, not because of the law of attraction and you sit back and you visualize and you get your goal. No, because you tap into the frequency and your brain is a radio station that is able to receive information at this frequency. This is the shortcut to doing the right thing and solving every problem. The thumbs up says it as well. Give this a like. Hope to see you in the next one.